Hello everyone, my name is Heather Autumn and welcome to my channel. So as you can maybe see, I am still in my work clothes. I just got out of work, and in this episode I'm going to be showing you how to make okonomiyaki, which is a pancake made out of cabbage. It's really good. For those of you who don't know, I like making Japanese food. I especially like making bentos for my lunch, but I also like making izakaya style food, which is Japanese bar food. It goes great with beer. Like, I usually get a Japanese beer with this. It's gonna be a lot of fun. But I'm also going to be showing you what our Hmart on the East Coast looks like. I know I have a lot of West Coast viewers and a lot of viewers in other countries. So for those of you who don't know, Hmart is kind of like a nationwide chain for Asian food. It has a lot of those like hard to find ingredients. Like for this, I'm going to need okonomiyaki sauce, and I'm not going to find that at my usual Wegmans or, if you're in the South, Publix. So I love going to this place. It's massive. I'm going to the one in Quincy. All right, so I gotta beat Boston traffic, which is hideous, so let's get going. All right, so we're here and traffic wasn't too bad. Unlike other grocery stores where I can kind of go in and I don't need a list, I know what I want. I have to make a list. I can drop so much money here. I love Asian food and I love cooking Asian food. And they have not just Asian food, but they have a lot of Asian products, home goods and things like that. They also have a liquor store just outside of the grocery store. It's where I'm gonna go to get my Japanese beer for this recipe and go from there. So I can't wait to take you in. It's gonna be fun. All right, so behind me you can see it is massive, and this is only part of the store. They have a kitchen here, they have a seafood area that is huge. So I'm gonna show you some of the kitchen stuff, which is where I'm gonna go to get some of my dinner. And then I'm gonna show you some of the products I'm getting for my okonomiyaki. I get stewed tofu a lot if I'm visiting. I just put that over rice. It's an easy dinner. It's really healthy. So behind me is the quintessential wall of ramen, which I feel like every Hmart has. And I am running low on my favorite, so I'm gonna go pick that up. Because I don't have enough pain in my life. Forget the lobster tank. Just have your kids go play with the live crabs and see how fast they learn that lesson. So I'm not usually a fan of sodas, but I definitely like ramu, especially the original flavor. So whenever I'm here, which isn't that often, I tend to get a 6-pack of that. Have you ever wondered where you could buy 5 gallons worth of soy sauce? Neither have I, but you can. All right, so I'm heading home now. In the next clip, I'm gonna show you the ingredients on how to make okonomiyaki. All right. right, so I'm home. It's the next day and it's definitely humid. It's been raining all day and I kept thinking maybe eventually it'll cool down, but it hasn't. So we're gonna do this again. If I look extra shiny, that's why. I don't have AC. All right, so as promised, I'm gonna go over the ingredients list. You're gonna want all of this laid out and ready to go. This does, of course, have a 1 hour chill time too, which isn't going to affect our episode, but make sure if you're cooking this at home that you have time. All right, so the first thing you'll need is 1 1/4 cups of flour. Next, you'll need a 1/2 tablespoon of baking powder. The next thing you'll need is 1 1/4 cups of dashi stock. Now, if you don't know how to make dashi, that's okay. They sell it in these little pellets now. This is handashi. It comes in these little pellets that you can see, and you just add it to hot water. It's kind of like an instant broth. It's a little bit fishy, which is kind of what is needed for this recipe. It does have kind of like a fish element. You can find this at any, Hmart, Asian store, and if you can't, you can always buy it online as well. The next thing you'll need is a tablespoon of grated yam. This is also known as a sweet potato, so if you can't find yams, try looking for that. The next thing you'll need is 4 cups of thinly sliced cabbage. And I do say thinly because this is gonna be grilled on the stove top, and you want that to be nice and savory tasting, maybe with a little crunch, and not something you have to really chew to get down. The next thing you'll want is 4 eggs. The next thing you'll want is 4 tablespoons of tonkatsu or tempura flakes. If you don't have access to any of those, you can get this Japanese breadcrumbs, it's panko, and this will work just fine. The next thing you'll want is benishoga, or red pickled ginger. That's what it kind of looks like. Of course, this is what I got at Hmart, and similar to the handashi that I showed you, you can find this at any Asian store or online. The next thing you'll want is some pork belly, but if you're not comfortable cooking with that, or you don't know how to cook it, or you don't have access to it, you can also use bacon. That'll work just fine. You just want 8 slices of that. Next up is okonomiyaki sauce. Now this is tough to find, I'm gonna be honest. You're probably better off getting it online. Again, I found mine at Hmart. If you can get to an Hmart, that's what I would suggest. This is what it looks like. And I'm now at the point in my Japanese where I could read that, so I was really proud of myself. Next up, you'll want some Japanese mayo. This is the Kewpie brand. Next up, this is a topping, but this is bonito flakes. And what this is just dried shaved fish. And you're gonna sprinkle this on top. And along with that, you're going to want some nori or some seaweed. All right, so the first thing I'm gonna do, because there's a 1 hour chill time, is I'm gonna get started on this batter. And to do that, the only thing I really have to prep is this yam, which I have to grate, but I only need a tablespoon. So let's get started on that. So now that I have my yam all grated, which is here, I'm going to add in my flour, my dashi, and my baking powder. Now that that is in the fridge, you can chill out for an hour, or if you really like to utilize your time like I do, you can use this time to cook up your bacon. I'm also going to use this time to go and chop up my cabbage. And again, you want this to be in really thin slices. The nice thing about this dish is that you can wrap it up and either keep it in your fridge for around 3 days, or you can wrap it up and you can store it in your freezer for almost an entire month. the hour is up, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna divide that batter into 4. And because it's so warm and humid, I'm gonna take what I need for 1 okonomiyaki, and then I'm gonna put it back in the fridge just so that it keeps fresh. But what you're gonna do is you're gonna take 1/4 of your batter and a cup of your shredded cabbage, and then you're going to put it in a bowl and start mixing it. And then you're gonna add to that 1 tablespoon of your tempura flakes and 1 tablespoon of your shoga or your red pickled ginger. And we're gonna get that on the pan and cooking and go from there. Now, one more thing I also forgot to note was that if you're going to go and be freezing the leftovers, make sure you do that before you add on any toppings. You just want to freeze the pancake all by itself. Not gonna lie, I'm super proud of that flip. I want to talk to you about plating toppings. Of course, one thing that is key with this is the okonomiyaki sauce. You want to put a pretty generous helping of that on there, and then you're going to follow that with some of your Kewpie mayo. And then on top of that, you're going to add some of your bonito flakes, as well as your sliced or shredded nori or seaweed. It really goes well with beer. So if you're looking to have a good pairing, I would suggest splurge and go and get yourself a good Japanese beer. This is what I get. Moment of truth, I have some of that here. You can see it has the toppings, it has the sauce and the seaweed and all of that, so I'm gonna give it a try. I like this dish for a number of reasons. One is that it's very flavorful, but it's mostly vegetables if you really think about it. Like, yeah, there's some sauce, yeah, there's some mayo and things like that, but it's mostly cabbage. And I'm not too much of a fan of cabbage myself, but somehow everything changes in this dish with the batter. It has one of those savory umami flavors, which is hard to describe, but it is amazing. And it goes very well with beer. All right, so before I start eating my dinner, I just want to let you know that if you are like me and like to see things written out, don't worry, this is all gonna be on my blog, so check out the descriptions below. I'm gonna link directly to that. And as always, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And if you would like to help my channel, the best thing you can do is to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. It really does help my algorithm and on my journey to monetization. So thanks again, and be sure to check back next weekend because I release a new video every week. Thank you and sayonara.